Sanders of Vermont. Congressman, Senator, good to have you with us tonight. Bernie, good to be with you. I want you to address Mitt Romney's comments about how this is dangerous. When he was asked about the Wall Street protests taking place, he says it's dangerous. What's your response to that?
Well, class warfare is dangerous. The only problem is that the wrong class is winning. What's happening now is you have the wealthiest people in this country, as you've just indicated, becoming much wealthier. You have Republicans, and this is what class warfare is about, saying, hey, let's give huge tax breaks to the richest people and the largest corporations. But you know what? Let's destroy Social Security, let's Medicare, let's cut Medicaid, let's deny young people the opportunity to go to college, let's cut back on any effort to try to create jobs in America. Senator, that's class warfare.
Senator, will these protesters across the country that are gathering in number and in cities, will they have an impact on the Congress, in your opinion?
You know, I think that they may. It's too early to say, but I think that they are touching a nerve, Ed. I think the average American understands that there's something very, very wrong when the people on Wall Street, for their greed and recklessness, caused this recession. Millions of people lost their jobs, their homes, their life savings. And you know what the punishment was for the people on Wall Street? They got higher compensation benefits. They're now making more money than they ever made before.
No doubt. Senator, you and Congressman Michael Burgess of Texas were at a hearing today, and you have asked, I think, someone who really should know about what the heck is going on Wall Street. Chairman Ben Bernanke, here it is.
Did Wall Street's greed and recklessness cause this recession that led to so many people losing their jobs?
It had excessive risk-taking on Wall Street, had a lot to do with it, and so did some failures on the part of regulators. I think people are quite unhappy with the state of the economy and what's happening. They blame, with some justification, the problems in the financial sector for getting us into this mess. And they're dissatisfied with the policy response here in Washington. And at some level, I can't blame them.
Pretty high-level admission, isn't it, Senator?
Well, I think it is, but we also have to hold Mr. Bernanke a bit accountable as well. One of the things, Ed, that the Fed can be doing, you remember during the financial crisis that the Fed lent out $16 trillion, yes, $16 trillion to every financial institution, central banks around the world, wealthy individuals, large corporations. That's what they did during the financial crisis to bail out Wall Street. Now, with the middle class in decline, with unemployment at 16%, real unemployment, what the Fed has got to do is act with that same urgency to protect working families that they did to protect Wall Street. Bernanke is not doing that.
Now, Senator, let's talk about the protests. Where do you expect this is going to go? Isn't this going to have to go to Washington eventually? And I have to ask the question, are these the people that allowed the Republicans to take over the House? Were these protesters, were these the ones who were apathetic in 2010 and let Boehner get the gavel? Where were they a year ago? And how do we know that this is going to be so genuine to hold true through the next 13 months to make a difference in 2012? Your take on that?
Well, Ed, that's a good question. And I would say, as an independent, that I suspect a lot of these people are very disappointed at the president and the Democratic Party as well. They have not seen the president be as strong as he should be on Wall Street. Ed, today you have 6 financial institutions, the largest 6, that have assets that are the equivalent of 60% of the GDP of the United States of America. So you want to break up
those banks? You want to break them up?
You got to break them up. You got to control interest rates on credit cards. You have to demand that the Fed start lending to small business. So what I hope will happen is that these protests will galvanize the Democrats, maybe some Republicans, to say, yeah, maybe it's time that we stood up to Wall Street and the big money interests.
Senator Sanders, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us again tonight here on The Ed Show. Chris Christie finally stomps out of the presidential rumors. He says he will. He says he still has more work to do in New Jersey, which means more pain for the middle class in the state of New Jersey. The governor's up next in the zone, and later, it's been almost a year since the